Hello, it is Tina Clark, computer teacher. Today is June 19th, 2020, and we are going to continue on, excuse me, in this PowerPoint topic. And the topic is internet searching and credible sources for finding out information. So in the first video, we talked about using correct keywords for internet searching and how by using the correct words, you can find more websites that pertain or are relevant to the subject that you are researching. And we talked about using certain terms to find information about cats as pets in an apartment. And that was just as an example. And if you want to review that, make sure that you go back to the first part of this series. Today we're going to move on and talk about, we'll get past this page here, finding credible or reliable sources of information. You know, not everything that you read on the internet is trustworthy. And just because it looks nice on a web page, maybe there's really good graphics, maybe there's really nice looking print, maybe there's some fun videos. Just because a website might look pretty snazzy does not necessarily mean that it has reliable or trustworthy or truthful information. Or maybe the information is just part truth, or maybe the information is simply opinion. Or maybe they're trying to get you, to think the way that they do. So we're going to talk about finding credible or reliable sources of information. And this is for when you are making like a PowerPoint for class, or maybe you're just even looking up information on topics that you find interesting. Maybe you have an interest in dogs, like me, or maybe you have an interest in, ocean animals, and you just want to find out more just for your own interest and not necessarily an assignment. It is still good to know how you can evaluate and determine what websites or sources that are out there that are credible or trustworthy. Because again, you can't believe the first thing that you see. You have to kind of use your thinking and use your knowledge and read carefully to know if it's credible. Okay, here we go. Finding credible or reliable sources for information. When you need to research for information for making PowerPoints, learning about new topics, accessing news, or even making good purchases, you should be sure you are using reliable or credible sources. Reliable and credible information means that it is trustworthy and written by people who are considered experts. Unreliable or not trustworthy information means that the authors do not have a good understanding of the topic, or that they have some bias or agenda. They might be trying to sell you something or just give their opinion. So here we go, let's keep going. So we're going to go over some questions and some websites and different things as we talk about information that is credible. So, some questions you can ask to help you decide if information is credible or trustworthy is: how old is the information? Is the information current enough for your project? Well, if you were making a PowerPoint about the Civil War or about Abraham Lincoln, it might be okay if a website, has an older date on it, because that's history. That is information that took place a long time ago and doesn't change. But maybe you're researching something current. Maybe you are researching something about the coronavirus or something that has happened recently. You would want to make sure that you're using more current information. So you would want to look at the date on the website or the date of the article. Well, I have an outdated website. Another thing that you can use, and I believe this also comes up in a slide that's coming up, is looking at the website itself. Now, we're going to go to this website. This is not necessarily a website that you would use for researching for a paper. But I came across this website dated June 15th, 2004, and it was a fan site for a children's show called Cat Dog. And I thought it was a good example of a really old website. So if you were to go to a website and it might have like kind of a gaudy looking background like that, and like lots of kind of weird colored text like that, some older looking graphics, and there's really not any nice menu bar at the top or on the side, this might be an indication that it's an older website. Not in all cases, because some people, don't have a lot of resources for making websites and might keep it pretty basic. But this is an example of an older website. So if you were to run across a website today and you're looking for more current information, you would probably not go with a website that looks like this. And again, this is a fan site, so this is more informal, and they could make use of all kinds of colored fonts and graphics. But if you're wanting concrete information for your PowerPoint or just to obtain information, be careful that if you run across a site that kind of looks old like this and maybe has an older date, just maybe don't take that website as seriously. And again, you will always want to, even if you find information on a website, you will always want to find a couple of other websites that can verify whether what you found on the first website is true or not. So we'll go into that in a little bit too, but this is just kind of an example of an older website, So that might be a red flag. Okay. Some questions, more questions to help you decide if information is credible. Does the information come from a school or government organization? Does it have .edu or .gov? A lot of times those are more reliable because they might have concrete information that maybe a school has researched, or maybe the government, has certain information that stays the same. Who is the author of the information? We're going to get into the author here in a second. What knowledge or skill does the author have in the topic area? Are you able to verify the information on at least 2 other websites or reliable offline sources? So the websites that we're going to look at here, that's going to talk about what kind of knowledge or skill does the author have in the topic area. So let's open up both of these. Let's just say you are looking up information. You want to learn about a beagle dog. In just a minute, I'm going to open up the other website too. So hang on. Okay. So let's just say that you typed in a Google search and you wanted to know about beagle breed facts. A beagle is a breed of dog. Of course, I like dogs, so, I'm choosing dogs as a topic just for the fun of it. And this website came up. So I typed beagle breed facts in Google, and this website came up. And it's called dogloversstore.com. Well, first of all, it's a store. So they are trying to sell you things. And if they're trying to sell you things, they might have a certain bias just so they can sell stuff. But I just want to know about the beagle. I want to find information out about the beagle in case I want one. So there are some facts that they give here. They talk about, the height of the beagle and the weight and the eating requirements, the coat colors, the grooming required, the temperament, the exercise needs, and beagle products and activities. This information could be factual. It very well could be, but let's take a look at the author here because it looks like it was posted by Kimberly Matter, and let's go down and read about her right here. Here's the author. Let's read about her. I'll highlight what I'm reading. It says, Kimberly earned her bachelor's degree in operations management at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. When she isn't drooling over adorable dogs on Instagram, she enjoys walking in nature, gardening in the sun, going to concerts, eating quality chocolate, ooh, that sounds good, going on drives and traveling. I mean, she sounds like a really cool person who loves dogs, but is she an expert on dogs? Because she has a degree in management. That's not really a veterinary degree, and it's not really like a, like a dog grooming degree or anything like that. So her information could be factual, but there's another website that came up when I did this search, and it was from the akc.org website, American Kennel Club. This was founded a long time ago. It's been around 135 years, and you can read about what they are. We could go to home here. Let's see if we can just find out if there's something on the home site that says what they are. Let's see here. Expert advice, it says. They are claiming to be experts. And I'm not really seeing anything that just explains what AKC is, but you could even do another search. But anyway, I did search that. The American Kennel Club has been around a long time, and they have different shows, and they know about dogs, and they do have experts. So I did use this website to kind of verify if what this first person was saying. So it gives the height and the weight. So let's see. They say that the height is 13 to 15 inches. She said 13 to 16, yeah. So let's see. They said the life expectancy is 10 to 15 years. And yep, she said 12 to 15 years. That sounds about right. They're an excellent hunting dog and loyal companion. They're lovable and they are loving and lovable, curious and clever. Grooming. They have a smooth coat. Weekly brushing is good. What does she say about that? Short double coat. Gives the colors of the coat. Requires a number of trips to the groomer. They require far less grooming than other dogs. All right. So that's what you would do. You would kind of look and compare the two different websites. I would probably go more along with what the AKC website has to say, but she is, saying a lot of the same things, and maybe she even copied and pasted information from the AKC website onto hers. Let's go to exercise. They're active, energetic dogs who need an hour of exercise every day. What does she say about exercise? The Beagle needs a minimum of 1 day of exercise per week. Look at that. Most experts say the Beagle needs a minimum, that's a minimum, of 1 day of exercise per week. The activity should be 20 to 40 minutes. Ideally, your Beagle should be active twice per week. AKC is saying they need an hour of exercise every day. Every day. So there's a little bit of different information there. So that's what I would do. You kind of saw an example of how you can take two different websites, claiming to be experts, and really kind of knowing, that AKC would probably be more of an expert. And I would go along with what they have to say. So I wouldn't just go along with what the first website is, especially if the author might not be an expert. All right? And let's keep going. Now this video is getting kind of long because it took us some time to kind of go back and forth between these two websites and compare. So I'm not going to go much longer. We'll do some more in another website. Let's just, I will talk about this slide, but we will actually get into this slide more next time. Does the information use language that is free of bias and not trying to sell you something? Is the author just giving an opinion? And in the next video, we're going to look at the Time for Kids website And we're going to look at the opinion section. There are some websites that just come out and say, this is just an opinion page, and sometimes opinions are good because it helps you form what you think about things. But just because it's what somebody feels is right, should we be using that as fact? Should we be using that in our PowerPoint to present it as a fact? Probably not, because it's just somebody's opinion. So we'll get into that next time. This video is getting long enough for uploading purposes. So I will see you more in the next video. We will continue talking about credible sources of information and how to evaluate that. All right, see you next time.